Nichelle is a character that gets a lot of hate, but does she actually deserve it? Some people say Nichelle gets too much hate. They are not wrong about Nichelle getting a lot of hate. She's probably one of the least popular reboot characters with Chase. My first ever total drama video was about Nichelle, and it was about how I thought she was one of the most disappointing characters we ever had. Even YouTubers like Letching made videos on her, which are amazing videos and definitely recommend. So yes, Nichelle does get a lot of hate. But let's go back to the start of Season 2. Nichelle is one of the most popular characters. She came back strong, winning a challenge for her team. If you looked at polls and tier lists, Nichelle is very popular. Probably one of the most popular reboot characters. I am not going to act like I wasn't part of this group. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I was also really excited for Nichelle, and was the character I was most looking forward to. However, I did not put her above characters like Bowie and Julia. I'm not that crazy. So overall, Nichelle had a big fan base. So it made sense when she got eliminated that a lot of people would be super disappointed, and she would start getting a lot of hate. She went from being one of the most popular characters to being one of the most hated. Do I personally think Nichelle gets too much hate? I don't really think so. Maybe a little bit. But let's look at Nichelle character for Season 1 and 2. Season 1, she was the movie star that everyone thought was going to do amazing, but flopped at challenges, causing her to get eliminated. Okay, then let's go to Season 2. She was actually pretty good episode 1 and 5. But for most episodes, she was just there, doing good at challenges and hating on Hollywood. She had very few interactions with other characters, and when you finally do see her talk to other people like Damien and Julia in episode 5, they eliminated her. I honestly feel bad for Nichelle fans. They did her dirty, so overall this character didn't do much, and was pretty bland. With a cast like the reboot that has very interesting and noticeable characters, what does Nichelle offer? If you delete Nichelle from both seasons, it really wouldn't change that much. Only other character that's also pretty bland is Axel, but at least she had the Ripper thing. Even if I didn't like it, it made her more interesting, and had someone else to interact with. But Nichelle had no one. The only character you could probably say she had a small alliance with, or friendship with, is Damien. Also, it doesn't help that Nichelle is one of the characters with the least amount of lines. Their writers must really hate her. They honestly probably know how popular she is and just want to mess with people. As a person who was super excited for Nichelle, what are my opinions on her now? I think she's just alright. She is just there. She has some moments I really do like from Season 2, but a lot of times she didn't really do that much. I was disappointed that she got eliminated, and I honestly understand why people dislike her. She doesn't offer that much. At least Caleb didn't disappoint me. Also, I need to just tell you guys something real quick. Why do I see a decent amount of tier lists where Nichelle is higher than Caleb? Like, what did Caleb do to deserve that? We all have our opinions, and I respect it. But how is Nichelle better than Caleb the GOAT? When you hear the word Nichelle, what also comes to your mind? That's right, overrated. A lot of people think Nichelle is overrated, still to this day. Probably not as much as the start of Season 2. So this doesn't help with how much hate she gets. Let's real quick compare to another character that's considered really overrated, being Dawn. The biggest difference from Dawn is she actually had a personality and was an interesting character to watch. Yes, she got eliminated early, but she honestly offered way more than Nichelle did. It doesn't really help in Nichelle's case that she was really an overrated character and didn't live up to the fans' expectations. I think the only thing that Nichelle has going for her is her design. I really do like Nichelle's design. She's personally one of my favorites in the cast, design-wise. Some people just like characters because of their design. This is also probably partial a reason why Dawn is so popular. It's all hope gone for Nichelle. Is she forever going to be this character that gets a lot of hate and earns the title as the worst reboot character? Maybe. The only hope for her is Season 3 of the reboot, if we get one. But they're going to have to do something to make this character more interesting and actually offer something to the story. They just really need to make her interact with more characters, and not complain about Hollywood 24/7. They could make her a villain. I don't know if people would like that. Maybe have a potential rivalry between characters like Julia or even Bowie. Having alliance with characters like Damien, Scary Girl, actually any character at this point. Just do something with her. I can already tell you guys something. When the third season gets announced, Nichelle's probably going to see a lot of hype again. Not as much as Season 2, but still a lot. So let's just hope she's gonna flop again. This was a shorter video on Nichelle and talk about does she actually deserve the hate she gets. Thank you so much for watching and consider subscribing for more Total Drama content. See you guys next video.